Structured notes basics. What is a structured note? Well, is a deposit or a loan made to a major bank. The bank issues contract, have predefined rules, and determine how returns are earned based on the performing of an underlying asset. Also on the bank's credit at maturity. That notes are issued in increments of $1,000. So these are not products solely for the uber wealthy. The goal of structured notes is to replace existing exposures in your portfolio that have a defined return. They're going to reduce the volatility of your portfolio through protection. So if the market sells off, so you don't lose money. They also enhance investment performance by using participation multipliers or absolute returns that will overperform the market. They can also generate high yielding income. They could be customized. We've customized several structured notes here at Triathlon Partners. There's a lot of defined terms and jargon that is associated with structured notes. There's an initial level or initial date, final level, final date. Now, maturity is the date or the length of time when the note ends. Notes have something called protection. There are different types of protection. Sometimes the protection is called a barrier, and sometimes it's called a buffer. Those are two different things. We also have principal protection either by the issuer or that's FDIC insured, that's government insured, just like a CD. Mentioned that notes have this participation multiplier, which determines the value of the note when it matures. And a different type of participation is called absolute, which is back to algebra in 7th grade, which if the market or underlying asset is negative, the participation in the return of the note can be positive. A step-in, which guarantees a minimum rate of return. There are some caps or limits on maximum gains, or something called the worst or least performer, because some structured notes are based on the performance of 2 or 3 or 4 different underlying securities, but the final valuation is based on the least or the lowest performing asset in that group. A term called rainbow, and we're going to have a great example of that later on. Observation dates, those are dates when something can occur. Callable, you have an auto callable note, which means if certain market conditions are met, it's called, or if the issuer gets to decide on those observation dates. And these notes usually have a window when they cannot be called.